All right, guys, welcome to week 8 for the Backpackers Blitz. We got some extra people in the room here today. Most of you guys are going to hang out with us throughout the night. We got a bunch of questions we're going to ask these guys. And so the plan is tonight to dig a little bit deeper with everybody and not just talk about backpacking, find out what everybody does for a living, what they do for fun, if they've made any offspring. We're going to talk about that kind of stuff too. So, Jeremy, I'm going to pass the mic to you for just a second so you can kind of explain who everybody is and who's joining us tonight. Go right ahead. Take it away, sir.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
my name's yeah, that's right.
Surprise.
Yeah. So my name's Jeremy, backpacker, off-roader, overlander, got a channel called All Things Outdoors. In that intro, I got to tell you, give me PTSD of recorder class in high school. If you look down below me, right there, that's my buddy Chris, that hiking guy. So, and then over in the other corner, you got Brian, which is that hiking guy's biggest fan, I guess. Brian Carlson's Adventures. When we're just 3 Indiana backpackers that just came off of Campfire Cat Holes and decided to raid your live stream.
Hey, we appreciate it. So talk about your podcast. Let's talk about that for a minute. Explain to everybody what your podcast is about and when you guys actually do it.
Go ahead, Chris. Yeah.
If you just so it basically started with me and Brian, and we were sitting around a campfire one night making fun of each other because that's what you do. And we said, and I think it was actually Hoot on the Trail said, hey, you guys should start a podcast or a live stream. So we started actually at the end of 21, and we tried to stay on a schedule. We're part-time, but we basically, people like the banter between me and Brian, and they liked, we talked a little bit about gear, who cares? But, and so we just basically get on there sometimes and make fun of each other, and people start showing up. So, and then we brought Jeremy on. I was doing a stream with Jeremy as his producer and doing campfires and cat holes. And I'm like, this is too much work. And so we just brought Jeremy into our loving bosom. And that's all it's about.
So Chris, question for you. So which one is easier to make fun of?
Apparently I am.
He's the biggest, so it creates the bigger target.
Petro, starting out slow, are we?
No, we're going for it, buddy.
Good deal. We are going to start.
No one is safe on here, by the way. So if you're coming on here, it's open game.
Yeah. And while talking about open season here, Chad says he's on a backpacking trip. So the guy from UGQ, our buddy Chad, says he's going to be off this week. He says he's on a backpacking trip. Now, we all know he hates backpacking, so we're not sure exactly where he really is. We'll find out next week for sure, and we'll get the scoop on where he actually went. But I do think he actually went backpacking this time. So he's probably very miserable right now.
I heard he didn't even know what a backpack was until he actually came to tour the Hilltop Packs.
I had to show him what it was. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Well,
that's what I was told.
I heard he secretly buys his gear from Temu and doesn't admit it.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, we also got our buddy Troy from What's Smoking Barbecue. He's a local guy to me, so thanks. Aren't you on vacation right now? Where were you at?
No, I'm back, man. I
got
back yesterday. Yeah, I got back yesterday.
You got a tan?
A little bit.
There you go.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah. Didn't get any better looking. Okay, all right. Hey, can you back up a little bit more? All right, guys.
It's good from afar, far from good.
Okay, so we're going to ask you guys a few questions. We're going to go around the horn here. I'm going to ask everybody the same question. And I'm going to try to find out a little bit about what you guys actually do. And instead of just asking you where you work, I want to find out, what do you like about your job? Of course, we want to know where you work, but I want you to focus on something you really like about your job. So, Devin, I'm going to go to you first, buddy. Tell us what you like about your job, and you can obviously include where you work, too, if you want.
Yeah, so, well, first of all, good evening, everybody in chat. It's good to see you. I see Joe Wilderness in the chat. It's my good buddy, Jamie. So I work as an HVAC technician in Alberta, Canada, and I do service and install on residential heating and cooling equipment. I enjoy my job because I get to work out in beautiful days like today where it snowed. Yesterday was like 70 degrees and today it snowed. So welcome to Southern Alberta. But no, I don't know. I like fixing things and installing things, and it's a good fun day, I guess, to help get people heat.
Do you just do installs, or do you do like troubleshooting, go back and do repair stuff too, or you just do installs?
I mostly do installs now, unfortunately. I do some service and fixing stuff, but not as much anymore. The company I currently work at hired me on for installs. So we do fix some stuff that comes like broken from the factory, or if we have to go back after a couple years or so. Basically, within the first 5 years, it's me going back to fix it. But I prefer to fix things. Installing stuff is fun too, though.
See, like,
Everything's
you
a
like,
puzzle, though, and it's good.
see, like the troubleshooting part of the business job. You wish you could do more of that.
Oh, big time. Yeah, I used to do that at the last company I worked at, and it was, I don't know, troubleshooting's fun. It's a giant puzzle that's on fire.
I feel like a lot of the guys I've hiked with have some kind of job that involved troubleshooting. Like my buddy Preston, he works in IT, and that's all he does all day long. So there's something about that troubleshooting, that, you know, fixing things kind of side of most people's jobs that they seem to, people that I talk to, it's people that I kind of like. All right, Jeremy, you're going to ask the same question to you, buddy. What do you like about your job, and what do you do?
Well, actually, I like the people that I engage with. I deal with a lot of different accounts, and my job basically is keeping people like Devin, when they have a bad day, sane after the end of the job shift. So
Good luck.
I deal in spirits and wine.
Yes. Never mind. I take it back. He's good at what he does. I love this, man. I always knew I loved you for some reason.
That's the only reason we keep him around.
yeah. No, so I'm a district manager with a distributor, and deal with a lot of like
nice
large grocery accounts in Indiana, and basically just try to keep everybody sane for the holidays is my biggest chore.
Oh, excuse me, I just burped in the microphone. Didn't mean to do that.
That's all right. I get that a lot.
Yeah, he does.
All right. What this thing? Okay, hold on a second. Sweet, another HVAC. Okay, that hiking guy. What do you do for a living, and what do you like about your job?
So I am kind of a nerd. I'm a data quality analyst for a mining supply company, a global mining supply company, and so I'm kind of techie. In fact, all of my friends call me at all hours of the night, going because they can't work their computers. Carlson mostly, but.
You're my spreadsheet go-to guy, buddy. Hey, how do I do this?
Yeah. And so what I like about my job is when you figure something out, right? When you're why is this, I kind of do troubleshooting, but I do data quality, and it's nerdy. And I balance that with backpacking, obviously. So analytical and then out in nature to get away from it. So I'm a well-rounded person. Well-rounded.
Good deal. Good deal. Okay, so Troy, we're gonna go to you. I already know what you do, but what do you like about your job? And then you can tell me what you do as well. I mean, it's right on your screen there.
We may never know.
I smoke meats and I know things.
Put that on a business card.
I have a barbecue food truck. So I love, in fact, I was a little bit late signing on because I just processed 12 briskets. I had to get them ready to go on a smoker tomorrow. So
yes, please.
Do you deliver those?
Do you deliver?
He's talked about it, right? He's talked about that.
I have talked about it. Yeah.
To Alberta or no? Is that a little bit out of your scope?
Well, there's a tariff now, I think.
You got it. You
That's
said
fair.
it
That's
right,
fair.
man.
I'd have to meet you at the line.
The border guards would probably like that.
They probably would.
Good deal.
But yeah, that's what we do.
All right, Brian, what do you like about your job, and what do you do, buddy?
Oh, I work for a smaller trucking company. Have about 20 drivers, and I am the operations manager there. So it's pretty hectic sometimes, but what I like about it is, one, it's kind of like cliche because everybody said it, the puzzle factor of it. I'm kind of like a really big fire extinguisher. I put out the fires. And as a former truck driver, I drove for over 20 years. And now I'm on the other side of it where I get these guys coming in, and I really enjoy like kind of building them up. And when they're starting their career as a truck driver, kind of coaching them, leading them in the right direction, and hopefully helping them get a good positive start in their career. And also I'm kind of over maintenance and dispatch as well. So I kind of like, I'm not a real big people person outside of work, but inside of work, it forces me to. So I kind of enjoy it there. But I guess that's what I enjoy, just helping people with their careers.
You mentioned putting out fires all day long. That's what I feel like, I tend to do. And I actually enjoy it. Like I was just talking to a buddy of mine who, just to back up a second, I ran audio for an open mic night at our coffee shop tonight. Troy, you missed a good night, by the way. And I was talking to the guy who's actually the host. I just run sound. and we were just talking about all the different tariffs and stuff were going on, and I was explaining all the problems we're having at Hilltop Packs, all the problems we're having in the coffee industry, all the problems we're having in our coffee shop and the roastery, and I was talking about my buddy who owns a camera and the whole time he's looking at me, he's like, but why are you smiling when you talk about this stuff? And I was like, for some reason, I like it. I don't know why. Like I thrive in chaos like that. And as mad as I get, like I'm still like, I'm the first person to pat myself on the shoulder when I figure something out. Yeah. And there's just something about putting out fires that I think most of you guys on the screen probably gravitate towards as well. And I don't know why I put myself through that, because I do enjoy it. For Troy, we talk.
Oh, yeah.
That's why Jeremy goes overlanding, because he likes to figure out puzzles.
Jeremy and I are actually in the business of starting fires. Usually the problem at my job is there aren't any, and then that's why they call me.
I just drown my fires.
Well, at my company, we avoid fires at all costs because we're a tanker company. We haul gas, diesel fuel, and jet fuel. So we try to really stay away from the fires.
No fires.
I'm gonna have a
fire is a bad day for us.
I'm gonna have a nice fire tomorrow. I got, like I said, smoking some briskets. Like a fire.
That's awesome.
Good deal. Any follow-up questions from you guys? Anything you want to ask each other real quick about that question?
Well, talk about what you do, Ben, and what do you like about your job?
Well, it's only a 1 hour show. So
Wait, which company? There's several there.
Okay. So how about this? I do a lot of different things, but that's the part I like. I like building companies, creating positions. Ultimately, I really, really enjoy creating jobs. I know it sounds crazy. Like I'm broke half the time. Trust me. Like I live in a small house. I have motorcycles. We're not going to talk about that. But the rest of my life is pretty boring. I really enjoy creating jobs in a small community. I don't know what that is, but I like creating a position. I do it first, then I pass it off to someone else. Then I create another position, hire someone else. So I think the part that I really like about all the companies I've ever built is I did those jobs first. And then I built it up to where the systems are right, the processes are right, and I can hand this off to somebody else to where they're going to make minimal mistakes. And if they start to make mistakes, that's usually something that I didn't build the right process for. I get to go back, troubleshoot it, fix it again. I never get mad at anybody for making mistakes. Now, if we build the process out to where it's damn near perfect and they still keep making mistakes, then that's probably a people person or a people problem. So I get rid of them. But for the most part, like, I like seeing problems because that just tells us where our weakest little point is in the whole flow of things. We can dig in. So I encourage people to kind of point out mistakes and flaws and maybe how they fixed it. So troubleshooting is a big part of everything that I do. Even like just Ben's the man. I don't know about that, but I thrive in chaos. Like, I get up in the morning, I do a little bit of stock market stuff. Then I go to our coffee roastery. After that, it's in the same place as our backpacking business. I go there and I make sure everything's running okay. Then I go to our coffee shop, make sure everything's going okay. Go back to Hilltop, finish that out. And then sometimes we have events at an RGB, which is our coffee shop. I get to run sound. I went to school to be a recording engineer. I know in the middle of all this. So like my day is just
broadcasting school.
Oh, did you? There you go. Yeah. So I worked in radio for a very long time, but mostly behind the scenes and producing shows. And we would actually record them in our studio and send them out all across the country. So this is back in the days we had FTP sites and we were, setting up shows and send them out to stations all over the place. It was pretty wild. Anyway, so I've done a lot of different things, but it all revolved around some type of troubleshooting, problem solving, putting out fires. And so it doesn't really matter what I do. It's not, I don't know. I could talk on how long do you guys have?
Bro, you got it.
So currently right now, and you could ask, I've done a lot of things in the past. Right now we have the coffee roastery, which I really enjoy. We have the coffee shop, which is a mile away. I really enjoy that. We have Hilltop Packs, which I love that business. It's just constantly changing and I really get to sink teeth into that. Yeah. Apex Giant was fun because I got to learn how to actually do 3D design. So I do all the designs for that. And we use local machine shops to produce all the metal gear, but we produce it. I mean, we design it in-house. And then we have our photography studio. My wife actually runs our photography studio for us. And she actually sends me out on commercial jobs and weddings and stuff like that. And we have like 10 other photographers that work there as well. So I do a lot of different things, but it really is just creating jobs for good people and a lot of the people that work for us have been with us for a very long time. Amy,
so
who is
building a team.
It is building. Yeah.
Yeah, that like sometimes that's the most rewarding thing people don't realize with stuff like this. Like like for me, it's like if I get a team of guys that may be the bad news bears at first, but if we start being successful, you know, you kind of get proud of them like your own kids and see their growth in individuals of people that you hire, you develop or whatever. It's that team camaraderie is what really drives businesses to be successful. It's not the guy that's running the business as much it is the people around him that he created the positions for. So I totally get that, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you ever seen any of our videos at Hilltop, it's the same people from the very beginning. Like like Christian's been there from the very beginning. Amy been there from the very beginning, and Jen and Amanda. A lot of these guys have actually worked at other companies that I've had too. So Jen and Amy both work for McMillan Photography, our studio, and they still work there part time. But they've been working there for. I mean, Amy's been there for 13 years at McMillan Photography. My buddy Ed, who's our roaster, has worked for 18 years for McMillan Photography. It's like I have people that have just been around me for a very long time, and they're good at what they do and they care. And when things affect me or affect the business, they're the first ones to step up with maybe a solution, or they're willing to work on the weekend, or just they'll do anything because they actually care about each other.
That's awesome.
When one of us, you know, first of all, when someone has to move, when you want to like move for your house, I'm talking about like leave your house, move to someplace else, all your friends disappear. They don't want to help you move. Our staff will literally like, they all get together and help each other move I mean, I've seen it happen. And like for a coworker to offer to help another coworker move is almost unheard of. And that meant so much to me when I watched that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. I've been hiking with Carlson for about almost a decade now. He's never helped me move once.
You've only moved once since I've known you. Well, no, twice.
Okay.
Just saying.
Well, listen, I can keep talking.
Ben's pretty modest, man. He is really the man. He has a lot going on, but I'm gonna tell you, the people that work with him or for him, they have a lot of fun, and that's the big
awesome.
thing, man. Ben creates the fun things, and if you ever get a chance to look at this coffee shop that he's got down here in RGB, man, in
You want to come
Waynesburg,
up there, yeah.
you ever
I want
come
to
down,
be there.
it is such a cool place, man. I mean, it is just great. You can hang out, you can do whatever. He's got games and stuff on the tables. I mean, it is cool. Not to mention the coffee's pretty darn good. I mean,
It's the barbecue on Friday nights.
I've been around a lot of coffee shops. In fact, I stopped in a coffee shop while I was in Florida this past weekend. And I sent Ben a picture and I said, "Hey, I'm trying Americano down here in Florida." And I know it isn't as good as yours, but it wasn't.
Subjective.
But it was pretty good. It was pretty good. But Ben's stuff is really good in everything he does, man. He does it 110%. So he's really modest, but he's a really good businessman, really good dude.
I'll say one more thing and I'll move on because this is going to get really boring just to talk about me all night. But you'll never hear me talk about like our coffee shop having the best coffee. You're never going to hear me say Hilltop X has the best gear. Of course, I want customers to say that, and that's helpful. But I really want the people. I want you to come to our coffee shop because of the people that are there, the experience you're going to have. That's he's a tyrant. I just read the comment.
Consider the source of that comment.
I love Buckley. Buckley, I miss you, buddy.
Yeah, we miss you.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm just going to shut up. I'm going to leave it right there. All right, that's enough.
Truth
This
comes
is the-
out. Well, you see, we don't actually have anyone on here that works for him. Tim's not here, and so I mean, we needed him
no
to come in
proof.
here and set the record straight.
All I'm going to say
Yeah.
is however many lashings it takes to get Covered Bridge coffee the way it is, it's worth it. That's all I'm going to say. That's like my favorite coffee that you carry.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
Cover Bridge is the best.
Well, listen, I have a manager who runs the coffee roastery, and then I have a coffee roaster who roasts all the coffee. And through all this tariff stuff, the whole coffee industry is disrupted. There's also floods and droughts and stuff too, but it's very chaotic. And I have such good people at each position, every job. You would think that I would be losing my mind. I don't even pay attention to what they do. They know how to solve the problems. If it gets to a point where they need help, they'll loop me in after they've already come up with a few solutions, which is really cool. Same thing at Hilltop. They will work on solutions before they even bring it to me. And then if they like, hey, I need an extra some icing on the cake here, help us out with this. And even Deneen at our coffee shop, same thing. I hardly hear of any mistakes or problems or issues they have unless it gets to a point where they got to really tank it out. And I put people in the right positions to have the kind of power to make those decisions. And I don't care if they mess up. I let Tim makes their content. Okay, Tim, you're in here. Have I ever told you what to do, Tim? Like, he just does whatever he wants. And because I picked the right guy. If you pick the right people, let him make some mistakes, they'll figure it out.
I don't think anyone could tell Tim what to do.
That's true. Yeah.
No.
Even Tim struggles to do that sometimes.
Right.
So
Yeah. So, okay. I will keep talking about me. That's one thing I have no problem doing is talking about the people that work for me and the businesses. And I love business. I really do. But to answer your question, I really enjoy creating jobs and opportunities for people. So,
And it's not even
okay.
just the jobs. You've been building a team. It's like you
Yeah.
can put anyone in a position, and that doesn't mean they're going to do well. But by the sounds of it, and given the fact of the results of everything, the people that work there work well together. And
It's the
I
same
mean, you
team.
got
And
it's
we don't really have like weak links. You can ask Troy's been around. Troy, have you ever how many people have you seen revolve around me? Not many. Like people
No.
come and they stay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Yeah,
employ between the different businesses we have about between 25 to 30 people that work for us, and then another probably 10 people that are part-time, and it's been the same people, and it's been awesome. So anything else? I'll keep talking.
I like what you said. There was like, I'm a firm believer, like in the business and in managing, it's like having the right people in the right position, and then getting your people to not come to you with the problem, but come to you with the solution. And like you put
Right.
it,
Oh yeah.
maybe you put a little bit of icing on it. And that's something that, like with our management team, that I've had to like kind of like, hey, it's all right to come to me. I'm not going to solve your problems. Come to me with a solution. Or
Right.
maybe like the 1-3-1 rule, if you've ever heard of that: 1 problem, 3 solutions. What do you think your best pick is? That's what I kind of preach. And getting those guys to, hey, I don't know what to do. Well, come to me with some solutions. What do you think? And then we'll talk. So I like that. That makes it easier.
Yeah, and in my case, like the businesses we have, most of them are not so critical that if they make a mistake, someone's going to blow a truck up. That's not going to happen.
Right.
But like our photography studio is a little bit more high end, and like our weddings, you can't screw that up too much. But again, letting people make little mistakes and kind of tweak it as you go along. You got to let them figure that out, and watching them fix their own problems. I get more proud about that moment than anything else. So. Okay,
Absolutely.
no one came here to hear this crap. Okay.
well, at the end of the day, Hilltop Packs may be perfect, but they refuse to hire Canadians. I mean, I don't know if I can get behind a company that is going to discriminate against hiring HVAC technicians when they're not in that business, and Ben won't open one for some reason, especially with only one technician. I don't know.
So I'll just tell you that's a sad thing, because Canada is a wonderful country, and I miss my Canadian fishing trips more than anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where do you go fishing in Canada?
Well, it used to be probably about, I don't know, 8 years ago, 10 years ago is the last time I went up there. But I'd go up through Sault Ste. Marie and hang a right, go towards Webwood, and it was basically just like, I think it was called Black Bear Camp. I don't know if it's still called that. But it used to be a logging campground, and people bought it, and it just ended up being on a lake. And it was one of the most favorite things that I ever did was go fishing on that lake for smallmouth bass. Love that place up there.
I like the directions. Go through Sault Ste. Marie, turn right.
Take a right.
Hey, I knew where he was going.
It's only
Yeah,
Canada.
Webwood. I think what's beyond Webwood? Was it Espanola or something like that? I believe.
I'm not sure.
It was
If you narrow
Ontario.
it down a little bit.
Yeah. That.
Go to woods.
But I'll tell you this much: it was the first time I ever experienced just driving on a gravel road for like 40 minutes, just trying to get to a lake to fish. And
Fair
I'll
enough.
also tell you, if logging
Worth
trucks
it.
come down that road, get out of their way. They don't slow down.
This is correct.
All right, guys, real quick. So I'm just going through some of the comments up here, and I'll go back to one more thing about my employees. I love so much that people know who works for us. Like we put them in our videos, we put them in the photos, and like Doc here is saying, anytime someone brings up one of my employees in an email or online or even a review, we get a lot of reviews on our website and on Google and whatever. They always name one of our employees that helped them out by a name. It's not just like a ticket for some generic name. Like Doc here's talking about Christian helping. It's a graphic designer. And that's the kind of stuff that makes me really happy. Like I didn't know they were even talking. And that's what I like. I want to hear them solving problems for customers. It's that's what I want to see. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. So Devin, back to you, buddy. So what was your first job, and what did you learn from that first job? Like what did it teach you? Your first job.
Ooh. I think technically my first job was at so where I'm from originally in Ontario is like cottage country. There's plenty of lakes and stuff, as Todd knows. Ontario has lots of lakes. And so I worked at a campground, just raking leaves and doing landscaping stuff, whether it was, cutting the grass or weed eating and stuff. That was about it. It was just a good first job that paid pretty good and was just harder work, I guess, out in the summer. I say, you know,
Maybe I missed it. What did it teach you? Like the value of money, value of hard work.
hard work, but it's not like I grew up without doing that. We cut our own wood, and did all that ourselves. So it's not like I wasn't already doing hard work. I don't know if I necessarily learned a lot on that one that I hadn't already been getting taught. So that was not a great question, I guess, for me. It's kind of like when you first go on your first trip. I'm like, I don't know. I've been doing this my whole life.
I just made a note. Don't ask Devin any more
Don't ask Devin questions. Devin is banned from the show. That's about it.
All right, Mr. All Things Outdoors. Same question to you. What was your first job and what did you learn from it?
First job I actually got paid for, not the home slavery, but the first job I got paid for was probably just baling hay on a dairy farm.
Nice.
That was, you know, as most Indiana, you know, families, you almost, especially in the 90s, that's all you did. You worked on farms or you know, shot basketballs. It was one of the two things. But I think that just told you the value of hard work and probably the value of $1, because if I was going to make $5 an hour, by golly, I was going to spend it on something legit. If I had to work an hour baling hay to put that out, that, and if you hit a crevice in the top of the loft of the hay and you start to drop, put your arms out. That keeps you from going all the way down in. So that was the other. That was
how old
any
were you?
farm guy in the chat will probably know that. So I did that 16 on. So I did that all through high school. That was like, I just kept going back. I love doing it. It was a dairy farm. I remember it to this day. It was off of, and again, if anybody from Indiana might know this, if you go between Muncie and Newcastle on Highway 3, there was a farm called Wright's Farm. It was a family-owned farm. Brian probably knows it, but they would milk about 800 head of cattle, of cows. And so they had about 8 to 10 barns. They'd fill up with hay every year. I actually want to hear a really funny story about the dad. I'll make it quick.
Yeah, of course we do.
So the dad his name's Dan, and then they had all these brothers that outfitted and ran the farm. Dan was about probably 70 at the time. He was an older guy, and I remember he was driving a tractor and one of the bales fell off, and he got down, got the bale, threw it back on. I remember just seeing this dude's hands were the most ginormous, thick hands I've ever seen. Like the kind of, if he was a proctologist, he'd make you cry. But I mean, just massive hands. Well, his wife always made us lunch, you know, just great people, the most wonderful people on planet Earth at the time. I remember saying something to her. It's like, yeah, because he always milked by hand. So he developed these massive muscles in his hand. She was like, yeah, when we were getting married, he couldn't even leave the dairy farm to go get size for a ring. So I talked to the jeweler. The jeweler sent me home with a sizing kit, and he said, go ahead and measure him, bring it back, and I'll get you the ring size. So she came back and she goes, well, it's size 17. And
wow.
And he goes,
It's a meat hook.
well, he goes, ma'am, that can't be right. There's no chance of that being right. I'll just go out after work. I'll size it for you, and then I'll make sure it's right. And she's like, okay, I probably did something wrong. Goes out there, it's size 19.
Perfect.
Happy lady.
Yeah, well, and this guy's like, you know, 5'9", 5'8". I mean, that's all he did 24/7. So when you talk about the value of working on a farm and the work ethic, it's second to none. I mean, there's no options. It's like you can put a man on the moon. You can figure out whatever issue it is you have on the farm.
Okay, follow-up question for you real quick. So
Sure.
what you said, you had your first job, you were about 16 years old, right? What is one of the first things you spent your own money on? I know go ahead, you go first. Go ahead.
Paying for gas to go cruising in Newcastle. That was it, man. I was like, I'd get my cash and I would just go right to eat. There was a street called Broad Street, and I had my 1983 Monte Carlo V8 that I would just go rumbling, and you know, it's like you're just 16 years old and you got the freedom of cash and gas and a car. I mean, there's nothing more important than that at that point. So it's like you're going, and there's just so many people that would cruise up that street up and down. I mean, it was almost like legendary. I don't know how far I don't know if you ever heard of it, Carlson, if you were close enough to hear of it, but I mean, it'd take you like 3 hours to go 3 or 4 blocks. Is nothing but a car show. So it's like, as soon as I heard about this place, it's like, I got my own money. It's like, I'm paying for my own gas. I'm cruising till 1 a.m, went home and got grounded.
I'm just laughing because I didn't grow up in Indiana, but I was just curious, like Newcastle? Where
Yeah,
the heck
of
did
all
you guys,
places?
like cruise in Newcastle?
Yeah, Broad Strip. You'd turn around at the, I don't even know how I remember this stuff, man. This is stupid. You'd turn around at the police station, and then also down there was a gas station right before you turned on to Highway 3. There was the two turnarounds.
Good deal. Okay, guys, if you're just tuning in, we are talking a little bit more about our personal lives, like our work and that work experience and things that kind of molded us into the people we are, instead of just backpacking all the time, which we could obviously talk about that for days. We're mixing up a little bit this week. I'm going to bring one of our guests back into the mix here, Mr. Goat's Milk.
Welcome, Goat's Milk.
He's no stranger to the show.
Damn you,
There we
Tim.
go.
Hello.
Okay, so we're going to come over to Goat's Milk here in just a second. So we're going to go to the hiking guy. Same question to you. So what was your first job and
Well-
what did you learn from it?
Well, my answers are concise and short. And
Thank you.
basically, Pizza Hut, free pizza. And
Hey.
the first thing I bought was a Michael Jackson white and black Thriller coat at Chess King.
Do you still have it?
And it was the pleather, and I was all of it.
Please go put it on right now.
I can't even put it on one arm now.
You just hang in the back of all your videos. Just hang it back there. Don't talk about it. Just hang it
But
back.
no,
there.
that was my those are my answers.
Bring it to the meetup.
It'll be in the giveaway.
Right.
All right, Troy, over to you. So what was your first job and what did you learn from that job?
My first real job was I worked at Cedar Point in Ohio before I went to college.
That's
So
awesome.
and it was in food service. Get it? And then I ended up in my retirement gig. Now I'm in food service. So I don't know. Maybe there's a connection there. But yeah, that's what I did. I learned, that you can party all night and then you can work all day when you're young like that. But you can't do it now.
Yeah.
That's true.
What was one of the first things you spent your money on?
I think I bought a new car. Not a new one, but
Jeez, how
than I had.
wait a
Man.
minute. On
Not
your
a new
first
car,
paycheck.
but a newer.
Oh, no way.
Okay.
Not on my first paycheck, but
Okay,
I
we're
saved
gonna
up. I saved it up.
We're gonna cut you off here for a second. So we're gonna bring someone else in here. This is hold on.
Oh,
Wait a
look at
minute.
him.
Here's the thing. I gotta be honest. We all thought you were lying when you said you're gonna go backpacking. We thought for sure. There's
I
no
can see
way.
the Hilton behind
You
him.
don't even understand how far I hiked to get where I'm at right now.
Almost 2 miles.
Almost 2 miles.
Like 20 kilometers.
Nice
Joe, you
beanie.
had to work pretty hard to get him out in the woods there, eh, bud?
I just had to say please. Nice
Oh,
Canadian, like that's true.
Well, Chad, I'm glad you finally made it. Good job.
Yep, it's about time.
Missed a few shows.
Hey,
Nice beanie.
We'll get you.
Thank
Oh
you.
yeah,
Yep.
nice hat. Look at that.
I did that just for you, buddy.
Thank you,
Good
man.
deal. So real quick, where are you guys at right now?
We are in the
I'm talking to Joe. I'm talking to Joe. I'm not talking to you.
we're in the Hoist Lakes foot travel area, which is in the Huron National Forest in Michigan.
Michigan,
Ah,
nice.
Michigan.
Oh, that's so bright.
So, Joe, another question for you. How did you get Chad out there? What was the secret?
I literally was like, man, oh, he called me and we were just shooting the shit. I was like, yeah, maybe I'll come down and we can camp. And he said, all right.
he won't go with us.
That was it. Well,
That was
I
it.
did clarify how far we were hiking first, and he made sure to let me know that it was under 2 miles. So that was really the clear reason.
What's funny though is that we're in Chad's home state. I came from a whole other country, and we both had traveled the exact same amount of time to get here.
Nice.
That's
Well,
awesome.
I'm not sure if you guys got to hear or not. We're talking about some of our personal stuff. So we're gonna talk to Joe again real quick. Joe, what was your first job and what did you learn from it, buddy?
I worked at Tim Hortons. You guys got that in the States?
Yeah,
We do. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, no. I learned that people who make your food should wash their hands more. And when churches get done, there's a huge rush.
All right, I guess we'll let Chad talk. Chad, come on
That's
back.
why you
on.
leave before the final prayer.
That's enough from Joe.
So,
All right.
Chad, was UGQ your first job?
Are
How
you
did that work
serious?
out?
He doesn't even really work there. His wife runs it, I thought.
So, what was your first job?
Kentucky Fried Chicken, actually.
Really?
Yep. I was the guy killing all the cockroaches underneath the buffet at the Kentucky Fried Chicken. So it paid quite well. There was a lot of job security. So did that for about 6 months until they asked me to clean the explosion in the bathroom.
Was it brown?
Oh, it was something.
You guys had a KFC buffet?
Yeah. There's a reason why they don't exist anymore.
America.
We have encountered beavers and
raccoons.
A really old blind raccoon who keeps wandering into camp.
Chad scared the shit out of me. I'm like trying to film the raccoon or whatever, so I'm all zoned out, and we're like a foot away from the thing, and Chad's just right behind me as loud as he can. Scared the raccoon.
You guys are in Chad's backyard, aren't you?
Eat a little.
Maybe. Right now, I need a steak. There is a really nice fire pit here, though.
I feel like I can see your house in the background.
Oh,
hey, turn the lights off.
I'm kidding. Well, guys,
Yeah, wait till you see how Joe started the fire. So we all know it wasn't with the fire starter.
ouch, ouch.
Too soon.
Yeah, that's always gonna
10
be too
years
soon.
is 10 years is way too soon.
Dude, punch him in his wiener.
And you hang out with this guy? Come on.
This is only the second time.
Hey,
in 10 years.
Easy.
And the last.
Anywho. Okay, we'll let you guys get back to it. We got more camping to do. We just wanted to say hi.
We appreciate
Don't
you
get
guys
eaten
for
by
jumping in.
raccoons.
Yeah.
Best
We might.
cameo.
He was feeding them like a ding dong.
Yeah. Well.
All right, guys.
All right.
All right. We'll see y'all.
Yeah, I
See us.
appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. All right, well, that was fun. Okay.
I'll never live that down.
Ever.
That was funny.
I
I'll
got
let you
2
guys-
words. Windsor, Canadian.
I'm not sure if you guys know the story about the fire starter. I think didn't he
do.
lose it or something? Yeah, he lost it.
On a loan,
He was on a TV show. He lost his fire starter, and I think that's what knocked him out, right? Something like
Yep.
that. I didn't actually watch the whole thing. I need to go back and watch it maybe. Okay, so where are we at? We are at Brian, right? So the question is, what was your first job? What did it teach you? And what did you spend your money on for your first job? Go ahead.
My first job, I worked fast food at a Hardee's, and it taught me that it didn't matter how much I washed my hands or didn't, people would eat the food I made. I've spent my money on kind of like Jeremy was saying, like gas money to, just go hang out with my friends or see my girlfriend, and CDs was a thing about that time. So buying CDs for music.
Good deal.
gosh.
Good answer.
Remember
Short
that.
and sweet. Jeremy, pay attention. I'm kidding.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm kidding. We got a whole hour to kill. It's all good. All right, Goat's Milk. Welcome to the show, buddy. So,
Hey.
okay, we're talking about work and some of our personal stuff. If you're just chiming in, we're not talking too much about backpacking, but more about what makes us who we are. So, Goat's Milk, what was your first job, and what did it teach you? Did you milk and goats? Is that it?
Only
How
That's how
funny
you
would
got the name.
How funny would that be?
So my first ever job was as a busboy at a barbecue restaurant called Burbanks. I don't know if anybody near the Ohio area knows about Gary Burbanks, but there was a chain of barbecue restaurants that were named after him. And so, yeah. And it taught me that people can create some pretty amazingly large messes.
Good times. Got any stories that stand out to you?
Nothing really. I mean, just a standard fare. The people that thought they were hysterical by putting the tip in a glass of water upside down on the table.
I feel like I've seen that somewhere. I feel like I've probably done that somewhere. I'm so sorry. So, what do you spend your money on?
God, I'm trying to remember. It was either probably like some early gaming system like Nintendo 64 or some shit like that.
What's that? No, I'm just kidding.
I
Sorry.
know, right?
Devin's 19
Yeah.
years old, so what's he know?
Yeah, right. What do you mean Atari?
Sorry.
Or my first car, which was a 1989 Toyota Corolla, I think. It was like a 2-door. It technically had a back seat, but it was like that far from the front seat. So like nobody was fitting back there. Yeah, and then like I remember my sister, who's 4 years younger than me, she got her first car bought by my parents. And it was like a brand new Chevy Tahoe with leather interior and CD system.
Nice.
Yeah, I wasn't pissed at all.
But you learned valuable lessons about the worth of money and, you know, just how handouts don't come in life. So you have to work for it, right?
I learned my parents loved my sister more than me.
That's a good thing to know.
It's good to know where you stand.
Right?
Oh God. Okay, we're still waiting for Mr. McConaughey to kind of turn his camera on and turn his microphone on.
All right.
Over here.
You got to summon them.
We got technical difficulties over here in Texas.
He's working in the background. He'll turn his camera on here soon. Okay, so we're gonna come back around. So Devin, let's ask you a question. So now we talked about what you guys do. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
It worked.
All right.
Hey guys,
How's it going, buddy?
you keep going. I'm good.
Okay, so we're gonna come back to you next time we come back around. Okay, so this round, now we got to know what everybody does. So what did you want to be when you were a kid? This could be a short answer, Jeremy. So Devin. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? I was thinking it. I didn't mean for it to come out. I'm teasing, man. So Devin, what did you want to be when you were a kid? Like, what's the first thought you had? It doesn't matter if it was a real job or a fake job or one that paid well. What did you actually want to be when you were pretty young? What's your first?
Ben, thank you for asking. It all started when I was a small child. And
I shouldn't call on you anymore.
Yeah, never ask the sarcastic guy after giving them things they're not allowed to do. Just say, don't do that, and then I'm going to want to do that. So I actually wanted to be an astronaut. That's what I wanted to be. And then I watched the space shuttle explode, and I decided that was probably not the best idea. And that changed my tune.
Okay, wait. So you weren't even born yet.
I know.
You had to YouTube that because I watched it for real.
I don't remember. I don't know. It was. I watched it at my grandparents'. It was on TV.
It was in black and white.
Yeah, uphill both ways.
No, it wasn't in black and white.
Yeah, I watched this in 2008. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know when this was. It was a long time ago.
Not to cut you off on that, but actually, so we were going to watch it in school. I ended up staying home that day. We watched it from home instead, and it was crazy. Me and my mom and my sister were home watching it, and my mom didn't know how to explain it to us. I'm not sure the school would have been any better, but I remember how traumatic that was. Pretty crazy.
I was in school and we were watching it live on TV.
Yeah.
Because back when they would roll a big giant TV in on the table and you'd watch it.
Yeah.
And it all kind of blew up. And then we're all like, what happened? I think I was like 4th grade probably when that happened. And they sent us home early from school for that.
Yeah, you don't go back to math class after that.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking,
yeah. Well,
I was -10 when it exploded, so it really had an impact on me. So,
oh my God, he's like, my mom was poor.
Gail King and Katy Perry go up as astronauts now. See, look what you.
Oh
can
yeah.
do now.
Oh yeah.
Katy Perry beat you to space. Just saying.
I can't believe it.
Did
they even really go to space, though? Let's be honest. I mean, I don't think they had zero gravity. That was kind of what I was interested in.
It didn't blow up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They were closer than we would have been to space. Okay. So, Jeremy, what did you want to be when you were growing up? What's the first thing you could think of?
Fighter pilot. So,
really?
Like, yeah, legitimately. I wanted to be a fider pilot.
Good.
Yeah. Always
I'm too
obsessed
big for that.
F-16s, F-15s. Yeah,
Was there a movie that inspired you to think it? Was it Top Gun? Was that a movie like that that wanted you to do?
No, not really. I think it was just being a kid, and every time the jets would fly over, because I wasn't too far from, Wright Pat Air Force Base in Ohio. A lot of their jets would fly over, heading to wherever they were going. and I just remember just being obsessed with them. And every time I'd see them, it's like, man, that'd be such a cool thing. That was literally the first thing I ever wanted to do in my life.
You still got time.
Yeah. You know,
Don't give up.
He was watching the show Iron
Don't give
Eagle.
up on your dreams. Yeah.
when Maverick came out, I had high hopes.
Oh, just all right, Chris. Same question to you, buddy. So, what did you want to be growing up?
I actually wanted to be an actor, and it's
Magic
probably
Mike.
why I still do videos today.
Fair enough.
I'm
That's a good
still
answer.
acting and
Hey,
not
we're
getting
at-
good reviews.
Oh, okay, Mr. McConaughey. Let's go over to you. Before you, what is your
Speaking of
day job?
acting,
Yeah, speaking of acting.
I'm on a hiatus right now.
So,
What was the question there, Ben?
what do you do? What is your regular job? I forget what you told us.
I'm a career firefighter.
Okay, you did mention that before. So, growing up, what did you want to be? Was it always firefighter?
No, not at all. Early on, like kindergarten, first grade, like way young, I was wanting to be an eye doctor because I had glasses as a kid. I just thought it was kind of cool. And then my counselor at school said, that's like 8 years of school after high school. And I'm like, I'm out. I have no interest anymore. So that dream
acting
died.
it is.
Acting it is. There we go.
Well, I'll throw my answer. I wanted to be a firefighter since a very young age. I always wanted to be a firefighter, but around here it's all volunteer. There's really no paid firefighters till you get into like Pittsburgh area, but in our area there's nothing. And I think I quickly realized I want paid. I want money, so that wasn't going to work out.
Gotta have
So
money.
We're hiring. We're starting a new process. Come on.
I don't have a whole lot of free time.
Do your shop from over there. Come on.
There you go.
Well, you did say that you put out fires a lot at work, Ben. So
That's what it feels
honestly,
like.
in a
There you
way,
go.
you kind of are.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice callback.
Living the
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah, how about that? You're actually paying attention, Devin. All right, good deal.
Once in my life,
All right,
I would
Troy,
also like to point out that Doug is paying attention. Loafer in the chat, he's paying attention too. He's a smart, intelligent person, and I'll just leave it at that.
okay.
Goat's milk.
Okay. Let's go. We'll go to Goat's Milk right now. So, Goat's Milk, what did you want to be when you were growing up?
So interestingly enough, the first job that I wanted to be, and I found it interesting, he brought up Wright-Patterson Air Force Base because my dad worked at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Oh, no way.
And the first job that I wanted to be was a gate guard because apparently I thought that was
I really thought you were going to say something else.
Sorry, what?
Set really high on
the
dream job.
interesting thing though is that
None shall pass.
growing up, I never wanted to be a firefighter, but I ended up becoming one as a last resort because I was not really adult enough to be a college student, and I failed out of my first year of college, and my dad was threatening to cut my funding, and so I said, "Hey, what about the fire academy?" And to my shock and horror, he said yes. So that started 10-year career as a firefighter paramedic. So
Oh, cool.
Nice. Yeah.
Awesome. Right.
So two of those things were covered by two people here.
Good tie-in.
Good deal. All right, Brian, you're up next, buddy. What did you want to be growing up?
Oh, I always wanted to be a game warden. I grew up hunting and fishing in the woods all the time. I thought that'd be great. And then once I realized how much school I was going to have to go through to get that, and then the job really doesn't pay squat, I just kind of dropped it. It's like, nope. So
Not worth the risk of being shot.
yeah, it's everybody has a gun, right?
The people you're inspecting all have guns,
Yeah,
And you're outnumbered.
and they don't like you. So,
right.
I mean, that's
They
you're
were
the
not
bad
happy
guy.
to see me if I showed up.
All right, Troy, you're the last one, buddy. What did you want to be growing up?
Well, I always wanted to be a police officer, and then I got out of college, went into the military as law enforcement, and I did that for like 4 years in the Air Force, and I was like, I got out of there, man, and went right out of retail. Come out of the military, went into retail, and then here I am with the food truck. So
Very cool.
So yeah, police officer left me. That dream left me when I was in the military. So
You went to meet.
It's not all glorious. Is
Has
it?
the smoking meat been your favorite job? Is
it
this what
has.
you?
I love smoking meat.
Chris too.
I guess a different question is, of all the jobs that everyone's done, what's been your favorite, just like that stands out the most?
Not including your current job.
Not including your current job. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a tougher one.
Anybody can jump in anytime.
Oh man.
I was a nurse.
I
You're a
didn't
nurse?
I work in the trucking industry now, but I'm not a truck driver. But truck driving, growing up, I thought, I'm going to be stuck here in Kentucky and Indiana. I'm never really going to see the country. But as an over-the-road truck driver, I've seen and driven in 46 of the 48 states. So I've got to see a lot. So I enjoyed that. Didn't enjoy the time away from home, but got to see a lot of the country that way.
Yeah.
Good deal.
I think my favorite job was I was in retail. I was a store manager for Gander Mountain. I love the
nice.
outdoors. I hunt, fish, camp, and it
Overpriced
really
stuff,
was,
man. Yeah.
man, that was awesome. That was an awesome job. And, it's,
Cool.
They got good stuff though, but
And you probably got a discount, so
Yeah.
hey, that helps.
well,
needed
that was pretty good. Yeah. I got the discount. Yeah. It's kind
So-
of like living a dream,
yeah.
So
I think-
I've actually only had a couple of like jobs outside of me owning my own business. So one job I had for 9 months, I worked for this. There's an engineering firm, and I did some drawings on the side as a draftsman. I would do it from home, send the files back in. But that got me involved in working on this project. We're working for AT&T and T-Mobile. We're going out and doing these site audits all around like Kentucky and Ohio, like this big, huge region. And for 9 months, I got to just drive through all these small towns. And these cell tower sites are only a few miles apart from each other. So I got to go through all these small little remote towns and just live on the road and kind of do all that. It was really, really cool. I don't think I could have done that for very long. I only did it for like 9 months. But that was a really fun experience, just seeing parts of our region that I would have never seen otherwise. Really small little rinky-dink towns. All these cell tower sites needed upgraded. So that was fun for me. But I got laid off after 9 months, and I swear I'd never go back working for anyone else ever again. And here I am. So that was a long time ago. That was like 25 years ago, something like that. But even before that, I was self-employed, and it was the only time I tried to take a real job. And I got laid off right before Christmas, and it pissed me off so bad. I was like, never again. So, okay. Oh, we've got someone else trying to jump in here. Tony.
My favorite job was as a naturalist for Ohio State Parks. It was also my shortest job because it was right before I moved out to Montana. I was supposed to go back to Ohio, and that somehow just didn't happen. So, but yeah, it was a great job. I had a small park, and I did my own scheduling and my own programming, and a lot of fun.
Can't beat that.
Good
I mean,
deal.
would Etsy count as my favorite job?
Yeah. Sure.
I don't know. Like literally, I kind of get it. I mean, that would be kind of the cool thing, is just creating stuff that people use. I mean, to me, that's like the pinnacle. So, I mean, it's not an official job; it's more of a hobby. But anytime someone like messaged me and be like, "Hey, we used your hammock, or we used your hand warmer, or whatever," I mean, that was always kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. Like I said before, I really like creating jobs, but there is something cool about Hilltop Packs where, I'm seeing our gear in videos, and like just last week I had a guy send me some pictures from Alaska. He was on a survey crew, and I'm not sure if he knew I worked for an engineering firm in the past, or I forgot how we started talking. I really can't remember how the conversation started, but he sent me photos of his rig working in Alaska using some of our gear from Hilltop Packs as bags for his equipment. Just knowing that, of course, they're in other countries. We ship to like 55 different countries, but every time I see something like that far away in a place I'll never get to go to myself, that is pretty cool. And
I'm taking your stuff with me on the Colorado Trail.
Very cool.
So is Carlton.
Awesome. Send me some pictures.
We will.
So,
but I've been a wedding photographer. There you go.
Nice.
But I've also been a wedding photographer for the last since 2003, 2004. So 20 plus years. But knowing that these people are taking my photos and they're hanging them on their walls, I don't ever get to see it because I'm not a weirdo. I'm not creeping in the window, but just knowing that is pretty cool to me. And it's kind of the same thing with, that sounds so stupid. All right, Tony, welcome to the show. I'm sure you can hear us, right? Is Tony there? Can you hear us, buddy? Maybe not. Okay. Tony, can you hear us? Maybe not. All right, we'll take him back down there. Okay.
So question, Ben. So
Yes.
by job, this is something that you've the definition is something where you've made money while doing a thing. Is that what we're going with? If we're gonna allow Etsy,
As long-
technically
He has-
technically
Sorry, I
speaking,
screwed it up.
no, technically speaking, I am a professional photographer selling prints, and so I've only sold one, but it was to our good friend Jared, backcountry champion, aka Snackbox, aka Snacklebox, and so there you go. I am a professional photographer, and that's been my favorite job. I just really love it, and it's
Like
it really
one-
is. It's a passion of mine.
Listen, anybody gets a chance, check out his Instagram profile. Really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Oh,
Makes
good.
you
Yeah,
jealous.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yep.
I still have
Okay.
so many UK pictures to go through. I've just been so busy since we got back, so it's been fun.
Okay, so if you're just tuning in, we are just
Hold on,
talking
Kyle.
about personal questions. We're talking about work and talking about home life and stuff. And so before I ask the next question, Tony, if you're listening, we did try to add you in here. I don't think you could hear us. So I apologize. I did kick you back out. I'm so sorry. We'll try to add you back in here shortly. So out of the group here that's here right now, how many of you guys actually went to college? Raise your hand, or any kind of higher education. Okay, so I'm going to go around the horn and find out what everybody actually did. I'll go first. My first experience with college, I literally dropped out the very first day. I'm not going to lie. I was going to go for computer science. I went to orientation. I got my books, and I drove halfway to the college of California University here in Pennsylvania. Drove halfway there. I pulled over. I cried a little bit, and I went home. I never even made it to class the first day, and my dad wanted to kill me, but eventually he understood my decision, and I did eventually go to school to be a recording engineer. That was a whole different part of my life where I worked in audio a lot on the side and sometimes full time. But yeah, I dropped out the first day of college. So, Devin, what'd you go to college for, and where'd you go?
I went to St. Lawrence College in Kingston, Ontario for Energy Systems Engineering Technology. That is a lot of words basically saying essentially green engineering. But not the actual engineering. I was only at the technician level. So I think renewable resources and all that stuff are interesting. I was more looking at it at the aspect of being off grid and being self-sufficient. That's kind of what really interests me. And that was what I went through for. And somehow I got my gas license through that, which totally makes sense. And from there, I started into HVAC after school. That's about that. So I really enjoy wiring. Obviously, that's part of diagnosing problems and stuff, is being able to read wiring diagrams. So we got into some pretty complex stuff about that.
What was your biggest mistake wiring something up? What was your biggest mistake? That's what I want to hear.
I mean, I've been electrocuted several times, but that's not really like
that makes sense to me. That explains a lot, actually.
With basically no side effects.
Majestic.
It's really funny. There's someone that I work with, and I basically said I will never turn their breakers on anymore, because the last two that I flipped the breakers on, it like shot sparks out at me, and neither of the times was it their fault, but it's still you know, gives you a bit of PTSD when you're flicking a breaker on for the first time and it like shoots sparks. You're like, whoo, okay, I don't need any more coffee today. I'm good to go. But
New pair of underwear.
yeah, that too. Yeah.
Oh shoot. All right, Jeremy, where did you go to college? What did you go to school for?
Anderson University. I actually went for criminal justice and some sociology. I didn't want to be like a beat cop. I wanted to be like a U.S. Marshal. And there wasn't a real big market for that, like there was post 9/11. But
So did you ever do anything in that field at all out of college?
nothing.
No.
Nothing. No.
All right, Chris, you're up
Life,
next.
Oh boy.
yeah, like a different
Oh, I'm
market.
sorry. I thought he was done talking. I'm sorry.
This is
No,
gonna
he
be
is done. It's fine.
This is going to be a long Jeremy answer. I actually have been to college 5 times, and I've had 5 different majors. I started out as a voice major, and I had a full scholarship. Switched to broadcasting. Then I did Microsoft certifications, and I've been a nurse, and I have my master's in business. And so I'm doing data now. So I've been to college a lot.
Busy guy. Jeez.
Well, I'm old, so
okay. Well, how old
have
are you?
that.
I'm 52.
I'm
How old are
55.
you? Okay, you got me beat. Now I feel better about myself. All right, Troy, let's hear your story, buddy. Where'd you go to college, and what'd you go to school for?
I went to California University of Pennsylvania for management and computer science. Didn't like that part, so
That's what I
I went
tried
in
to
the
do.
went in the military, got some classes in there, when I got out of the military, went into retail for a while. Then I went into the coal mine. They sent me back to school at Penn State, got an associate in mining technology. So that's where we're at.
Good deal. Brian, you're up next. Sorry about that. I mean to cough. On the mic.
All right. I worked for a company called Dana Corporation, and while I was working there as a production supervisor, they sent me through their own accredited college. It's nothing that you guys have ever heard of, but I went for business management and like manufacturing engineering, and didn't complete either one. So
I can relate to that. Goat's milk. You're up next, Goat's milk.
So
I love that so much.
It's always fun.
I love when you come on just so I can say goat's milk. There's no other part of my day where I get to say that.
It brings so much joy, honestly, every time.
Really does. It does.
it's funny because Tim just screwed it up, and it's stuck. So, as I said, I go to college out of high school, and I was too immature and did not do well to my dad's standards. Although, to my personal credit, I didn't fail anything. I just didn't get as good a grades as he wanted. And so he cut my funding, and as a last-ditch effort, I said, hey, what about the fire academy? And to my shock and surprise, he said, okay. So I went to the fire academy. So technically it was also college. And then I did 2 years of paramedic school, which almost killed me. And then I was that for about 10 years. And then when I was 30, I surprised everybody by saying, hey, I don't want to do this firefighting thing anymore. I want to go back to school. And so I went to a tiny little school in Ohio called Hawking College, and I got 2 of the most obscure degrees possible. One of them is ecotourism and adventure travel, and the other one was natural and historical interpretation.
Okay, wait, what is that?
So natural and historical interpretation, nice hat, Devin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is basically the best way to describe that is if you've ever gone to a national park, there are 2 types of rangers with funny hats. One of them carries
This is
guns.
one of them.
Exactly. One of them carries guns. I was not that kind. The other one talk about really cool stuff that happened in their park, and that's interpretation. So it's experiential education, so to speak. So, and then ecotourism and adventure travel is just a fun way to do a lot of awesome. A lot of fun outdoor activities and try to get paid to do it, and never worked out. So,
Okay, good answer.
So,
All good answers so far. But go
I have
ahead,
a
Devin.
question, actually. Do you think your dad was bluffing? You know, like just when you're like, I'm going to go and do this fire school, and he's like, all right, let's see. Let's see if you'll actually do it.
Did not think I would have the cojones to finish it.
Nice.
Interestingly enough, though, it ended up being a great job. I did it, loved it for 10 years. Unfortunately, I developed a little bit of PTSD and some other issues that eventually made me decide that as great a job it was for 10 years, I didn't think I could do it for another 30 years to get my pension.
Yeah.
And so it's not a job that you can kind of half-ass your way through, as I'm sure Corey can do. So I bowed out graciously after 10 years.
Yeah, you were saying this school is really challenging. One of my friends is a paramedic, and it's not an easy schooling by any means. It's pretty intense.
I may have some PTSD just from the schooling as well.
Fair enough.
There's no way I would make it through paramedic school. I'm at the EMT level. I don't push drugs. I don't do any of that. That's the hard stuff or did.
What's
Like,
shocking
there's no
is
way
that it allowed me to do that when I was 25 years old.
Not easy
Okay.
stuff.
Tony, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can.
All right, good man. All right. So real quick, Tony, what do you do for a living every day? What's your job?
I'm a construction contract administrator for a civil engineering firm.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay. So,
I make sure stuff gets built right.
so what'd you go to school for?
Civil engineering.
All right. So you've been on track your whole life. You're better than the rest of us. All right.
Hey.
You've had your crap together for a long time. I get it. Moving on. Just making us look bad.
No, I wouldn't say I get my crap together, but yeah.
Okay. We're going to move over to Brian. This is Brian's first time on the show.
Hey, welcome, Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
For your first time ever.
First
Your
time ever on the
debut.
show. This is his debut. So Brian, what did you go to school for? Did you go to college somewhere?
Oh, the internet, man.
The internet. That's it. man.
Nice.
That's
I don't know
what
why
I've
so
done. Yep.
spotty. Yeah, my internet's going out. I'm back.
That's okay.
Hey,
We
welcome
can see
back.
it now. So we're gonna loop back around. We
Maybe 'cause
have
10 people on here.
there's 10 people on here now. How about that? We're gonna
That's a
crash
lot.
the internet. Okay, so we got a new question. We're gonna go around the horn here. Got one more time, and that's gonna be about it for the show tonight. So, real quick, Devin, what is one thing that people misunderstand about your job, or you wish they would ask about, like just something you just can't explain, but you're gonna explain it to us, but no one else quite understands it.
1 second. I need
Like-
to make sure that one. Okay. Change your furnace filter, please. Just do it. They're not that expensive, and it makes a big difference. Change your filter and move stuff out of the way when I'm coming to install a furnace, please. When there's a bunch of stuff right in my way. Also, you don't need to stand there and watch me the whole time. Get a hobby. Go for a hike. It's okay. I know what I'm doing. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Nobody can follow that up.
Oh my god, we probably should just end it right there. Holy
I know.
moly.
How do you
Done.
pass that?
How do you top that?
What did he say? He was glitching. I couldn't hear a word he said.
I don't know if I can recreate that. This has been festering for years at this point. I think I've been doing HVAC for 8 years, I think. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. So Devin,
I mean, the liquid gold that Jeremy sells is honestly the only thing that keeps me going, and
I got you.
that in spite.
okay. So Devin, I want you to calm down for a second. I want you to look through some of the comments and pick a couple out that we can talk about here at the end. I'm going to carry on asking a few questions. You dig in the comments for me. So
Go
Jeremy,
for it.
I already forgot what the heck the question was. What is something that people misunderstand about your industry, or something maybe you wish they would ask you so you can talk about it? What is
Jeremy, when was the last time you changed your furnace filter?
So about my industry. Yeah. No. So when we're putting stuff on the shelf and we have a bunch in a cart, we're not going to take it to your car. If I drop a bottle and it busts all over the floor, you don't have to get a straw. It's okay.
All right. Okay, Chris. So let me try to rephrase the question. So you like your job, you like what you do, but what is something that people probably maybe get bored with it, and you wish they would ask you because you really want to talk about it, but you know they could care less? Like, what is that topic that you wish somebody would ask you about?
Is
They
that
just
for me?
misunderstand? Yeah, sure.
Everything about my job. I mean, I do data. I mean, what? I mean, explaining it, first of all, you had like for a good example, my buddy Trail Medic. So my buddy Trail Medic is 67 years old, and I had to explain to him what I did one day. I'm like, well, you know, when data comes across, it's not the highest quality. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I had to go back to the beginning of learning about a computer.
Beginning of time.
Beginning of time to talk about a computer, and then go all the way to what I do.
I remember that story. You pulled out the abacus, remember?
Yeah, I was like, yeah. So I honestly,
There's ones
nobody
and
understands my
zeros.
job. I enjoy it, but nobody understands it. I can't explain it in this forum tonight.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, you know, being a business owner. Like, it may seem chaotic and really difficult, but I can't, it's hard to explain why I like that space and why I just continue to keep doing this to myself over and over and over again. So that's it for me. So Troy, what is something about what you do that's hard to explain to somebody? They're just not grasping it, or maybe that you wish someone would ask and truly be interested in this one part of your business. What is it? Is it the business side?
It's tough. It's tough. What?
Ask me about my meat. That's what you want people to say, right?
Well, they do.
Ask
They
me
do.
about Melina.
Hey, can I have the mac and cheese recipe?
I knew where you're going with that.
No, you cannot. I gotta go change my furnace filter, man. I don't know.
So Brian's back from changing his filter of his house. He missed the whole thing.
Welcome, Brian, for your first time on the show.
It's my very first time.
It's first time tonight. Good job. All right. So let's see. Let's go to Brian. So same question. What is something about what you do that you like talking about, but no one else seems to be that interested in, and you just wish somebody would ask you about that one thing so you have the freedom to talk about it? What is it?
Oh, continuous improvement. I'm a manufacturing quality manager. So
See, this guy knows.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
Even Brian doesn't want to talk about it.
Brian's like, I leave work, so I don't have to talk about this anymore.
It's like, oh man, I've had meetings about this all day.
All right, Tony.
Welcome to your last meeting of the day, actually. So we're gonna review your performance recently.
I fixed my internet for this.
Brian, did you actually get to hear Devin's answer to my question? Did you get to hear that? I know you cut out. For,
No,
you're gonna have. I'm gonna beg you to go back and watch this later on tonight after it goes back online, because that might have been the funniest thing we've done so far. And I can't. Yeah, I wish it would have been. Yeah, so it was hilarious. Okay, Tony, what is something about your job you wish you could talk about more that no one else seems to care about?
Well, first off, my son owns an HVAC company, and I don't know when the last time I changed my filter was.
He would be so disappointed.
Yeah.
I know he would be.
Oh no,
I think it's optional. So you're probably good.
Matthew McConaughey just hires people to do it.
I have one of his lifetime filters in mine. Yeah.
You stop it, Ben. You stop that right now.
Your dirty mouth.
I'm not even sure if I have one in
I'm
mine.
the nerd in the room.
I'm kidding. I just take mine out. I didn't put nothing back in it.
Yeah, you're just in a way.
I'm going to be gone for technical difficulties.
All right, Mr. McConaughey, what is something about your job? Does either one, whatever you do, that you wish you could talk about more that no one else seems to really care about?
Honestly, I don't have a good answer to that. I don't talk about myself or my jobs honestly that much with people. I think it's because I'm around too many long-winded people sometimes that's all they think that I want to hear is every little detail. So I keep most of my stories short, including this one. I don't have a good answer.
Okay, good answer.
Don't tell them, Mark. I do make commission on filter. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, Mr. Goat's Milk, same question to you. What is something you wish you could talk more about your job that no one seems to really care about, or you wish they would just ask you, or maybe they misunderstand?
Oh my gosh. So I just started a new job, actually. I'm doing inventory management for a garden center. So I think for the inventory management side, I would say that no, the store does not have a magically huge back stock area that has everything that you think we're hiding from you. And then second, water your goddamn plants, and we're not responsible for them dying when you can't take care of them.
Good answer. Good advice.
So I'm going to follow in on that real quick. Goat's Milk, we have so much in common because I managed a garden center for 10 years. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Exactly what you're talking about.
Buddy.
So people really come back and talk to you guys about how they killed their plants. They really come back to you. And
Oh my
that's
God.
the thing.
So the first year the first like 2 months I worked there, we had a lady come in with these tomatoes, and she had overwatered them and they basically rotted. And she said it was our fault because we sold her the plant, and we tried to give her like a discount on something, but she wasn't having it. And I'll never forget, there's some poor innocent dude walked into the store at that exact moment, and she holds them up to him and goes, look at these things that they sold me. And this guy has no clue what's going on. And my manager's there, and she's like, ma'am, please don't assault our customers. And she goes, it's my right. And my manager looked her dead in the face and goes, it's my right to get a restraining order. And I was like, it's going to be a fun job.
Dang, that's funny.
Okay, we got one more person left, Mr. Biggest Fan over here in the corner. What is something about your job that you wish you could talk more about that you actually really like, but no one else seems to care?
There's nothing I like to talk about my job. It's just
That's a good answer too.
I mean, it's trucking, but the one thing I guess I think it's funny that people ask me about all the time is, so which gas station has the best gas? And if you don't know, it all comes from the same place.
Right.
It's all the same gas.
It all comes from Alberta, Canada.
The only difference is like Shell might have different additives. It's the additives. That's it. The gas is gas. When I hauled gas, I would pull gas to one station and it came out of a Marathon terminal. It came out of Shell, or it came out of the BP terminal. It's all the same gas. It just has different additives. That's
I didn't
it.
know that. I learned something new. Yeah, just blew my mind.
I mean, I could tell you all about diesel fuels and all the different blends. And, I mean, how much time you
too
got?
late. Too late.
Right?
Please no.
That's why I said,
Ben
let's
is
not talk about
fuming.
I'm kidding. So we are almost out of time. But Devin, did you find any questions in the chat you want to talk about?
Questions, no, but I got a couple things here. Let's see. 1 second. Mark, Devin Shaw blows and he's full of hot air. This is true. We have Jared. I've never created a job for anyone, but I've created mountains of work for lots of people over the years.
He was a professor, so that is true.
And then we have Backpacking with Buckley. Chad actually proved this all wrong. I did not expect to see him, nor did I expect to see him out on a trip. And Doug did pay attention. I've been changing my hats and outfits all night through magic. So, yeah, good job, Doug.
Now that the cat's out of the bag, did anybody even notice Devin's been changing his clothes?
I noticed. I just was going to ask him how he was
Yeah.
doing that.
Do you want to explain how you've been doing it this entire show? He swore me to secrecy. I wasn't going to say anything, but now that he
Taylor
told
Swift,
you,
I think.
so go ahead and let me tell you how he showed me. So when I first logged on before the show started, he doesn't tell me what he's doing. His screen freezes. So here's what happens: his screen freezes, and then within a few seconds, all I see is his shirt off and his nipples are in the screen. It's like,
So
It's a
It's
delay.
just-
It's gotta be a
just
delay.
pictures. It was like he's talking. I was saying, and then I see his nipples. And I
okay,
was like,
so
what is-
there's a story behind
That is
that of
so
I had
funny.
changed. So what I'm doing is looping back X amount of seconds.
Yeah.
And so what happened was when I changed it in OBS through the timing of it, it saves, but you have to reset another setting that's on there for the replay buffer. It needs.
And that's how you do it, folks.
That's right, just like that.
Right there.
And he's gone.
Whoever caught him, that's perfect timing.
That is
Very nice.
awesome.
What just happened?
Somebody
Where did he
didn't want to
go?
hear that.
Oh
Ben,
my
is
goodness!
that you? You didn't
No,
want to
I
hear
think-
that?
No, I think it literally just happened. I had nothing to do with that at all.
I think Chad's on the back end of this or something.
Chad maybe.
Uh-oh.
That's it.
Oh, he's coming back. Okay. Hold on a
Oh.
second. What
There we
happened?
go.
Different outfit.
Perfect.
I don't know. I have no idea what happened.
Taylor Swift is back.
Glad your
Yep.
shirt's on.
Yeah, so he caught me though mid shirt change. I still have my pants on, so that counted for something. I've also been changing my pants. You guys just can't see that part, you know.
That's me about my wiener.
Good deal. Any last comments, guys, before we wrap it up? Anything else you want to throw in the fire here? Anything else? Guys, you want to talk about your podcast?
We appreciate you bringing us on. We just
Yeah.
came off of ours. We appreciate you.
Tell them what night your podcast is on. Go ahead. And
Campfires and Cat Holes, we are a part-time podcast because none of us can get our schedules coordinated. So usually it's a Wednesday. Usually it's right before this. So we're 8 to 9. That's why we hopped on over. And
that's on YouTube, right?
And we usually don't even think to do a show until the Monday before. So
Nice. So we planned this like literally 15 minutes before the show started. We had no idea what the topic was going to be. Usually Chad plans everything out, but he's only been here a couple of times. Now he's on a backpacking trip.
sounds like
So
Carlson.
I think he's in his bathroom with the light turned off, I think. But anyway,
He only backpacked with YouTube royalty.
no, I'm just kidding. He is on a backpacking trip with Joe, which is pretty cool. So I would have went on that as well. Okay, guys. Well, we're gonna do it again next Wednesday. We're gonna finish out the whole rest of the month, and Devin is officially part of the show now. You guys may have seen him in the graphic. Everybody, clap your hands.
Thank you.
Yep. He sent me enough money, and we add him to the show.
Yeah.
All right.
It took a few weeks for me to finally get the down payment, but yes.
Good
Awesome.
deal. All right, guys. Any last comments? We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, I gotta go change my filter.
Yeah, change your filters, everybody, please. This is your reminder.
I've got him. I just got to do it.
Yeah. I gotta go make sure mine even has a filter in it. So, guys, have a good night. We'll see you next Wednesday. Later.
Thanks, guys.
Good night,
Later.
everybody.